Hi, I'm Matthew Schoenhart. I'm going to walk you through Riverbend's solar panel project due to install this spring in May or June of this year. We're going to walk through some technical things. This is a picture of what the 63 solar panels on our building will roughly look like. So the project is going to be on the east side of the sanctuary, that is facing Riverbend Road. It's going to be about 63 panels, that's about 29 kilovolts. Our production is going to be around 32 kilowatt hours, which gives about 39% of our demand. And it gives us a fantastic 13% rate of return, or about 7 years payback, which is fabulous. $30,000 is going to come as a grant from the Faithful Footprints program, where the other $40,000 we need to raise ourselves. And I'm confident we can do that. So this is how solar works. First of all, we have solar panels on our top of our building. They collect energy and create DC energy, just like a battery. That energy, electricity, is then converted into household power or alternating current power in an inverter. Then that power then feeds the entire building first. Any excess power we sell to the grid. There's legislation in place. Alberta's grid's very good for this. We don't need to change our utility provider. And like all buildings in Alberta, we already have an existing bidirectional meter. So everything's in place. We just need to put the solar panels and buy an inverter. Some fun things, because I like talking about physics, is this is Einstein. We all think about Einstein. He's a great guy. We all think of E equals mc squared. We think of relativity. But you know what? Einstein didn't get a Nobel Prize for those things. He got the Nobel Prize for the photoelectric effect. And the photoelectric effect is basically how solar panels work. What happens is electromagnetic energy, light, hits special materials and knocks electrons out of an atom's valence shell. And we call moving electrons electricity when you got enough of them. And the sunlight has the right wavelength to do this for semiconductors and silicons. This is basically how like LEDs work, but in the opposite direction. And while that's really boring, the important thing here for you to know is because it's solid state physics, there's no moving parts. That means the entire system is incredibly low maintenance. That being said, like LEDs, solar panels do become less than efficient over time. After you turn them on the first time, they're at about 98% efficiency, and then they drop about 0.5% efficiency every year. They're guaranteed to be 85% efficient in 25 years, and that means our solar panels are going to last us 30 to 40 years. You know what? That might be longer than the steel shingles on our building. The only thing that does need to be replaced regularly is about every 15 years the inverter needs to replace. So speaking of steel shingles, we're not going to be drilling holes into our building. We're actually going to be using these brackets that are supported by the shingle manufacturer, and that means the warranty on our steel shingles won't be harmed, and the warranty on our solar panels won't be impacted either. Why are we doing the east side? Why not 100%? Well, this is a fun image of our church from myheatsolar.ca. You can look it up and punch in your house and see the solar potential in your house on the same app. And as you can see, the bright yellow is where it's best. So the best places for solar on our building are the east sanctuary and the office, and the worst spots are the west sanctuary and the expansion. How much better? Well, that east sanctuary, we get basically 114% efficiency, and the off is about 109. But if we did the west side, it drops to like almost half that at only 62. And so we're not going to chase the technology. We're doing what's efficient and economical. Why are we doing it now? Well, basically, solar panels in the past 20 years have dropped 93% in price in 20 years. That's fantastic. That's not total installed cost, because there's labor and aluminum and all sorts of other things. But here's a fun study from the Canadian Energy Regulator. In 2017, they figured out the average price in Canada was $3.20 installed per kilovolt. In 2023, the near future, they figured to be about $2.60, and the low-cost future, they figured to be $2.25, $2.25. Our install base price is $2.11. We're getting a great price. Now with some extras, we need some brackets and rodent guards and GST, we're a little bit higher than $2.11, but that base price is a fantastic price. Some people complain that, this is all great, carbon footprints, but, making solar panels takes carbon too. Well, guess what? The fossil the carbon production of solar panels is paid back in about 2 years. And then after 2 years of solar panels operation, they're carbon neutral. If you do the same for a fossil fuel plant, you need to get 6 years. In Alberta, 88% of our electricity comes from burning fossil fuels. Most of that is natural gas. We have cycle times of 6 minutes to 30 minutes. That means they can turn them on and off pretty rapidly. So that means all solar in Alberta is displacing fossil fuel electricity. So you can feel good about that. These other things here are kind of really scary, so I'm not going to go into them. Here's some myth busting. Solar panels are actually great in Alberta because in Alberta, we get more sunlight hours than most of the rest of Canada. And the other one is solar panels actually work better in colder temperatures. And the building slope is almost close to a 53-degree perfect slope. Here's another fun one. What about winter and snow? Aren't solar panels going to get covered in winter and they're not going to be able to use it? It's like, well, that's true. They are going to get covered in snow. The really steep pitch of our building, a lot of that snow will fall off, but if it doesn't, guess what? It doesn't matter. Our total solar production in December, January, and February is less than our total production in April. So even if snow covers our solar panels for, a week, it doesn't really matter to our total return. What about hail? This is way cooler on YouTube in slow motion. This is a billiard ball size of ice at 120 kilometers an hour hitting a solar panel. It's like nothing ever happened. Now, here for some technical people, this red line is our average monthly demand of electricity. The yellow is what we're going to be producing. That green is going to be our net exports. And the blue bars, so somewhere between $600 and $700 a month when we're in the prime months, is our energy savings based on 2 years ago pricing. So how are we paying for all of this? It's a 7-year payback, which is about 13.5% return. You own mutual funds or something of that nature, 13% return is really, really good. So it's $70,000 price tag. $30,000 of that's a grant, and that means $40,000 needs to come from the congregation. You can do that by check, you can give it by cash, you can email it, you can e-transfer it. Just put solar panels in the notice line, and given that 63 solar panels, it makes it roughly $1,000 per panel. So if you donate $1,000, we can put your name on a solar panel. Thanks for your time.